Hi guys, so if you're not up to date with my channel, then you may not know that Etoro at the moment is pretty much my whole portfolio. So where I used to have multiple portfolios, some of them I removed purely because I wasn't a fan of the platform, and some of them I removed because I had to liquidate my investments in order to pay for stuff for the house or things like that. So in terms of what's left is my Etoro portfolio, which I've kept firstly because I want to keep some investments. I want them to keep growing, but also because I do have people copying my portfolio and I wouldn't feel comfortable selling. So anything that I add now, I'm going to be adding to Etoro at the moment. That's not to say that I won't grow my other platforms back in time, but at the moment it is pretty much my full portfolio, with the exception of one position, which is realty income. So realty, pretty much my, well, not the whole position because I've started investing in it in Etoro as well, but the majority of my realty position is on Trading 212. So that's about, I think, £1,500 or something. So yeah. Anyway, what I'm going to do is just go through the dashboard and show you the overall amounts first. I mean, like the overall returns and stuff like that. And then I'll take you through every position. Now, I'm not going to do a comparison because with everything that's been going on, I've not really kept track, and at the moment, I don't have time to go through and revisit all my positions to see what I've changed. Having said that, from the next one, I will be keeping track of everything I'm buying. So without further ado, let's go through the portfolio. Okay, so as you can see here, at the moment, my return year to date is 26.68%. So that's 2023. Which is slightly better than 2021, which was 25.66%. But obviously we've got still a few weeks left. It's mid-December at the moment, so that might change. It might fall below 2021 or it might go above. Now, obviously 2022 was a terrible year for investments, so that was minus 24%. But actually overall in the last 24 months, it's been plus 20.3%. My overall risk score is 4, so not very risky. As you can see here, the portfolio volatility is only 2.7%. And it says here that my portfolio has a relatively diversified allocation with a mix of tech, healthcare, energy, and consumer goods. I have 21 copiers and 800 followers. So, in terms of performance by month, if we have a look here, we've got 2021, 22, and 23 here. And as you can see here, the best performing was November, followed by January, and then December and June, and March, actually, they're all fairly similar. And there were only 3, well, 4 if you count May, but that's pretty much net zero in my mind. So 3 unprofitable months, so September, August, and February. So overall, pretty decent. So let's go into the individual positions. So, okay, so the first position is AbbVie. As you can see here, I have $150 invested in AbbVie back in 2020. My profit at the moment is $113, which gives a 75.98% return. Now, it's that high because obviously in 2020, everything crashed and I got in at a good time. The second most profitable is actually Ethereum. So as you can see here, I purchased Ethereum 4 times on Etoro. I invested $135 and it's currently worth $218, which gives me an $83 return, which is overall a 61.5% return. As you can see, every single one of these positions is currently in profit. The next one is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Again, 4 times I've purchased that. I have a total of $125 in this one. Once again, every position here is profitable. Overall, a $69 profit. which is a 55.58% return. Amazon next, so 6 positions here. 2 of them are in a loss, the rest are in profit. So I invested $390 in Amazon overall, and I've currently got $197 profit, which is about 50% return. Next is Bitcoin. This has recently gone up the list a little bit more. So 11 positions in Bitcoin and currently $394 in total, with a return of $163, which is a 41.4% profit. So the most profitable position is from December 2022, where I purchased it at $17,000, and it's currently up 141%, which is crazy. So next we have Apple. 1 position in Apple from this year. Invested $40, of which my return is 13.75, so total now $53, giving me a 34.37% return. Microsoft is next on the list. 2 positions. I have only $41 again in Microsoft currently, but my return is 29.1%, which is about $12. BAE Systems, this was a recent addition, recent in terms of this year. Only $65 invested here, but currently both positions are in profit. Overall 25.8% in profit, which is about $16. Realty income. So as I mentioned, Realty, I have pretty much the majority. I have £1,500 in trading 212, but any new positions other than reinvesting my dividends in trading 212, I'm currently going to be including in Etoro. So this is from October. I put $50 in Realty. I'm currently up $8.20, which is a 16.4% return. Now, Realty, I don't really invest in for the growth. I invest in them for dividends. Next is Shell. So Shell, I've got 5 positions here. Again, all of them currently in profit. I've invested $250 in Shell, giving me a 13.8% return of $34. So currently worth $284. And my best performing position is from August 2022. National Grid next. Again, this isn't one I invest in for the growth. This is a dividend stock for me. I've got 2 positions here currently. I had a massive position in National Grid in trading 212, but obviously I sold that, so I'm rebuilding now here. So I've invested $119.96, currently worth $133, so an 11% return. Google next, 7 positions in Google. With Google, I've mostly invested small amounts, with the exception of this $100 back in March 2020. Mostly profitable, 2 positions here that aren't, but overall I am 9.8% up. So I invested $285 and it's currently worth $313. Tesla next. So Tesla, I have 2 positions that are performing quite well and then 1 that isn't, and overall I am 9.5% up. So I've invested $220. It's currently worth $241, so $21 profit. Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. So I've invested $346 in this ETF. I'm currently up only 4% on this one, so about $14 in total. But obviously things in the whole world are a little bit volatile right now, so I'm just happy it's even in profit. Equinor next, again a new position from this year that I haven't really built on yet. $20, so a very small position, currently up 3.3%, so 67 cents. Proctor Gamble next, I have 4 positions here, all currently in small amounts of profits. Overall, a 2.7% return, which is only about $7. So overall, currently worth $277. And for the last position that's currently in profit, we have Johnson & Johnson. So again, this was one that I invested in heavily previously, and now I'm going to have to rebuild it on Etoro. But currently 0.7% up, so probably a good time to invest in it again currently. $150 overall, which is currently worth $151. Again, this for me was always a dividend stock rather than a growth stock. So the first position that's currently in a loss is my Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Now, this was back from 2021, and I haven't invested since in S&P 500 on Etoro. So I had, again, a large position in S&P 500 on Trading 212. So I will rebuild this one. Now I'm currently down 0.24% on this one. So $550 invested, currently worth $548. Legal & General next. This again is a dividend stock for me purely. So I'm not really too worried about the fact it's all negative. On Etoro, I've gotten about $60 worth of dividends from Legal & General so far. So that outweighs this $17 loss. So currently $294 invested, worth $276. But like I said, I've had about $60 worth of dividends. Next on the list is Coca-Cola. So these are just two small positions, $60 in total. Again, more of a dividend stock for me than anything else. I'm never really going to have a large position in Coca-Cola. I don't really support them as a company very much. They pollute the environment massively. But in my Etoro portfolio, I wanted a little bit of exposure to I can't speak today. I wanted a little bit of exposure to Coca-Cola on my Etoro portfolio. So I'm currently down 6% on this one, which is just under $4. Unilever next. So I've got $100 invested here. Again, this was one that I had a rather large position in on Trading 212. So I will be rebuilding it. As you can see here, I've started rebuilding it. I've invested $50 in it today, but since it's Sunday, it will need to go through tomorrow at market. So $100 invested, currently worth $93, but again, Unilever for me was always a dividend stock. So $6.98 down. Admiral next, just one position from 2020, hasn't really recovered. $100 invested, minus 8.56%. This is the one that's most painful for me out of the ones that are down. Drax Group was performing so well for me, so well. I was so happy with this investment, and currently it is down 11.5%. So this was a big shock to my system when this crashed, but I'm still holding. I'm not going to sell. I'm hoping that they do recover. $402 invested in total, so currently worth $355, which is about a $46 loss. GSK next, I have $135 invested here, down 12.8%. The only profitable one is one from June this year. And the ones from 2020 are massively down. But as you know, GSK performed really well in 2020, so I'm not really surprised it hasn't recovered yet. So minus 12.8% on that one. 3M is next, minus 30.6%. Thankfully, I've only got $130 here, so currently worth $90. So I'm down almost $40 on this one. But the best performing actually seems to be from this year. Almost at the end now. Enphase, painful. I was sure that this was going to perform really well. $75 invested, and currently down 37%, which is about a $28 loss. Worst performing though was from December 2022 and best performing from May of this year. Almost at the end, Cardano. I have mentioned how much this one pains me. I am down 55% on Cardano, but again, not losing hope just yet. Bitcoin was doing really badly for a long time, technically, before it shot up. I had $216 invested, or have $216 invested, that is currently worth $97, but fear not, I have hope. And the final worst performing position in my portfolio is down 81.5%, and it's NEO. Thankfully, I only had $50 invested because I was a little bit worried that this would crash. So I wanted the exposure just in case it did really well, but I didn't want to overdo it in case this happened, and I'm glad that I did that. So I did have a larger position in NEO a couple years ago when I actually believed that they might perform really well. But then as time went on, I started getting more and more nervous, so I sold out of that and just kept this $50, which is now worth $9. Okay, so overall, as you can see here, I have $5,200 invested, currently a $468 profit, which gives me $5,718 in portfolio value, which is about £4,500. Okay, that is everything. Let me know what you think. Any thoughts, comments down below. If you want to follow me or copy me, the link will be down below as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.